lean in.
Happy Monday. Not to say Erica's earrings. Lord jeez, I didn't change that. I still got the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in there. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to another lean for the Real Housewives of Potomac. We're halfway, well, we're more than halfway through the season. We still got a little bit coming up. Episode 11. I'm here with Antonio. Not a full panel this week, but me Antonio been doing this for a long time. So, we know what we do. We know what we talking about. What's going on with everybody in the chat right now? I see Taylor is here. Taylor, I just saw you yesterday. I love you some Taylor.
Y'all look cute. Y'all look good.
We was styling our profile, child.
You had your platinum on. You look good, Cortez.
Thank you. I like it. I said the Renaissance is not over. I said let me give y'all one more Renaissance piece. But Jasmine's here. Jasmine said, baby, I need a break too. We was just talking about that, but that's okay because when we get through these seasons, I got a good feeling that we're all gonna get the much needed break that we deserve over here at the Lean. Okay, but no. With that being said, make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, episode 11. I know that maybe an exclusive for y'all, but I do know that the reunion for Potomac is not being filmed until the weekend of the 20th in February. So that means that we have about a good 6 episodes to go on this. So bear with us. Of course, if the episode is boring, it's always going to be fun over here. Last week's recap, I wasn't on, but I had a blast watching it. It was fun. So you can always count on the Lean for giving you a good show, even when the ladies on Potomac cannot, because they have been given it. Just saying. All right, y'all. Again, hit that like button. Let's get into the episode. So in this episode, we're getting ready for what's her name? We're getting ready for Karen's she has purchased the property for her grandmother's house, and she's going to use it as going to be a rental property?
No, it's going to be like I kind of look at it as like a bed and breakfast almost, where someone can come in town and stay there, like a little.
Yeah. If I want to go to Surrey County, I'd be like, oh my God, I want to stay in Karen's house. I can rent that? Is that?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like a rental property
then. Yeah.
Okay, well, she's getting ready for that, but there's a couple things that happened. Of course, in the last episode or in the previous, she said that she was going to do an invite list, but it was going to be pulled from a hat. And so just keep that in mind. That's going to be basically the drama of this episode. We open the episode with the scene of Giselle and Ashley, who are the most fashionable women on this cast. And because they are so fashionable, they have decided to create an athleisure line called G&A, Giselle and Ashley. I find it to be a horrible name. Yes. Now, I get what they're trying to go off of. I'm assuming DNA, but to name it, for it to actually mean Giselle and Ashley, that's just as tacky as the way they dress, in my opinion. No. But they're getting that together. They said they want to be Savage Fenty meets, what was it?
Lululemon.
Okay. Well, I love the ambition. I love the drive and the tenacity they have behind this concept. I know Jasmine, who loves both of their fashions, is going to buy this line just like she bought Wendy's candle. Hey, Jasmine girl, love you, girl. I'm in my congenial era too. So then we also get a scene of Karen. As I mentioned, she has purchased the property of her grandmother's house, and she's meeting with is Valerie? Is that her sister? Who was that?
Her aunt, right?
Aunt okay.
Val.
Okay, Aunt Val, and she makes this comment about it being like what she say it was going to be
because when she said it was going to be a weed farm.
Well, no, because the auntie was like, I don't want to see nothing freaky now. But it was the way that Karen said it was kind of what you would think it would be. Nonetheless, any thoughts on either of these scenes, with Karen going forward with the property? Karen has, what I can say is, although we don't have the same belief in Surrey County, Karen has been consistent. We see it, and I believe that she's truly passionate about her hometown in Surrey County. So I'm out here for it. We've seen she got the key to it. She built the park or whatever she did. She didn't film scenes there. She didn't roll on the parade. So I am all in for the fantasy that she has about Surrey County. But what's your thoughts on that and this athleisure line from GNA?
That athleisure line is some bull. They kind of lost me, at the it's gonna be Lululemon meets Savage Fenty because it's gonna have rhinestones and mesh and lace, and they are both tacky. The line gonna be tacky. It's just gonna be tacky, tacky, tacky. Um, in regards to Karen, I think it's good that she did make that purchase. In those older homes like that, I'm sure it's very spacious. But that's good because she'll then have something that she can pass down to her kids, as she did purchase it from her aunt, and then her kids can pass it down to their kids. So it's something that can stay in Karen and the Hugers family, forever. So that's really good to see. I mean, I'm glad she did purchase some kind of home because we know she ain't purchasing a home in Potomac. So
Uh-oh.
you know.
I don't know why does she not have a, I mean, I guess buying is not for everybody, but you would think by now they would have acquired a property that they can just, I mean, they ain't getting no younger. So it's just like, you would think, I wonder what's the holdup behind that.
Maybe they got a really good deal on the rental property. So it's like, might as well, they want to stay in Potomac, or maybe because they want to be in the 20854 area code, they, maybe can't afford or can't afford to purchase. So maybe it's more affordable for them to rent, and they don't want to move outside of the area code. I don't know. But I was thinking that too. But I mean, when she first came on, she owned her home because they ended up selling it to somebody from Asia or something before Ray's tax issue started. Yeah.
Taylor says making clothes with Giselle is a choice. That is a horrible choice.
Well,
and I agree.
She don't know how to make good choices anyway. Not in men and friends and clothes, hair, makeup, shoes, fingernail polish, nothing. She just don't know how to make any good choices at all in her life.
When she said Lululemon and Savage, I was thinking more of Sheba Sheree meets Tags Boutique, I can see that, but Lululemon is somewhere like, girl, please don't reference me because we don't want no.
And I'm sure when Rihanna get a chance to watch that episode, she's gonna be like, "Be
girl,
please."
bye. I'm curious to see it. It could be something. Maybe Giselle and Ashley they may can't dress, but maybe when it comes to their leisure, they can probably pull something together. So I'm gonna, because there are Black women, I'm going to remain hopeful that it's gonna be something. Because I am tired of candles, and I'm tired of whatever Monique had going. Was it the mommy sit down? What was it called?
Some kind of oils, mommy.
Right, Karen had the wig.
Moms, that was it.
Something for moms. Karen had the wig. So I want to see something kind of last longer than a season for Potomac in terms of the businesses that they come up with. That's just something I want.
Said, speaking of season.
Oh, well, you know what? Actually, Robin might have the most successful business on this cast.
I mean, she was making $60,000 a week or a month or something. So yeah.
Yeah, and according to Mia, she was making $400,000 a year, and look how that turned out. So hey, look how that turned out, right? So speaking of Robin and Mia, they are so much in this bestie world now. It's so weird seeing Mia just kind of really cling to Robin. What I can say, I like that it seems like she's consistent with trying to be supportive of her. Yeah. And Robin seems to be receptive of it, which is kind of, because usually we only get this from Giselle. I feel like in this moment, Mia has been more present for Robin through all her BS this season than Giselle has. And maybe we're just not seeing it, but we're seeing it more on camera. And I don't really care for Robin, but I like that for her. I like that we're not just seeing her and Giselle talk. Because Mia, what I can say is, she goes up and down with me, but she will say some stuff. She will speak her mind, and I think she'll probably say more than what Giselle would say. So we'll see. Yeah. So they go to this little salt room therapy thing, And all I could think of was like all that damn salt, baby. My ankle started to swell up just looking at all of it, you know.
Imagine how
But
Giselle ankles would have been.
I'm just finding out why Giselle didn't go. She was like, if I got enough fluid in this ankle, I don't need to go with this salt. So they go to this thing and they talk about Karen's event. They talk about the guest list and the whole fishbowl thing, right? That Karen said that because of the liability insurance, she had to be selective on who could actually come to help her with the thing that they're gonna do at the end of the episode. And so Robin talks about Karen and she says that Karen is so obsessed with her that one time she happened to, I think Karen showed her a picture, but the first thing that showed up was a picture of her and her family. And she's like, this just really proves that she is so obsessed with me, as in Karen. And I'm like, I don't think she's obsessed with you. I think she just loves that you are easy to read. And she just really is. I think I saw a clip on did you see that the Twitter page last week from Bravo where I was posting all those clips? It was like posting that one Bravo clip.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That, first of all, I sat on Twitter for like 3 hours just because it was so many moments from Potomac, Atlanta, mainly Atlanta and Potomac. Beverly Hills had some pieces. I threw in some Jersey things, but Potomac and Atlanta like reign supreme. So shout out to these two franchises. We know who have the most moments, but it was a moment basically where it showed like almost every time Karen had gotten Robin together, and it was like so many, and I was like, dang,
now I gotta go find it.
Yeah, it's like it's buried in across like all those posts. It's so many. So Mia talks about a point where she had a retainer for filing for divorce about Gordon. Now we know that that's coming up. Did you see the interview that he did? That Carlos King did with the new boyfriend or whatever.
With the boyfriend, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it,
but I heard that he kind of like not threw Mia under the bus, but what he was saying didn't kind of put her in a good light.
He said it basically said she was a gold digger, and he's aware, and all this. It was a bunch of mess. Mia answered the phone. It was kind of whack for what I saw. But then outside of that, Robin, makes a comment about Mia the stripper and how Mia, how she feels like Mia wanted this life and had all these expectations of Gordon, but it didn't turn out that way. And so look at where she is now. And I'm like, I wonder is Mia gonna look at that as shade? But then again, she probably won't. She probably won't. It'll probably fly right over her head because if it comes
no, she'll probably catch it, but she probably won't say anything about it because she really wants to be friends with them. So, but no, I think she'll catch it though for sure because it was definitely shade.
Yeah, it was. And then the last part, they talk about, whether or not Robin and Juan are in therapy. She says no. She says because the issues that they have are not with each other. She said their issues ain't got nothing to do with all the women he possibly cheated with or cheated with. It's more because they need to enjoy life together. They need to take more trips and go make long walks on the beach. That's what their issues are. So, Antonio, your thoughts on any of this scene between Mia and Robin's clear delusion that they don't need therapy.
Yeah. Because the way he talks to her like she's a kid, they definitely need some kind of therapy because she gets on his nerves. I do like the fact that Mia kind of asked that question. I like that Mia will kind of get in there and no matter who it is, she will try to ask a question to get some type of information. It's like, almost like in her mind, she feels like she always has to be working. And I'm not really, mad at that when it's coming, from a housewife. It's like, damn, well, at least somebody from the other side is trying to do something. That salt thing, didn't Karen and Ashley do something like that, like some seasons ago, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Karen and Ashley. I don't know who it was, but I just remember seeing something like that on the shows. I would love for Mia to see what Robin said, because it was, it was kind of shady. Like, oh, she was a stripper, almost like she was looking for a come up, and then this come up, wasn't really the come up that she thought she was getting. Because Juan, you and Robin, y'all was broke for years, so you should understand and have a little bit more empathy with her, with what she's going through. At least from what we see, she's not having to go and do those little surveys in the mall so she can buy some packs of chicken and noodles for her family to eat. Because that's what Robin said she had to do to get groceries. She had to go do those surveys So she can buy them some groceries to eat for dinner. So yeah,
I think Mia is the type of person that she will never allow herself to be broke.
I
Um,
agree.
I don't. I think she may not. She may be not. She may not be in the place right now where she has a lot of money, like she did when they were like, when she's moving the pamphlets and stuff like that. But I don't think that she will ever allow herself to be broke, and so I
Yeah.
think that's one thing that Robin could probably learn from her, how to get them before they get her, like she being got and got. So like Taylor says, Mia and Robin are far more interesting than Robin and Giselle. I agree. I actually don't mind their scenes. I don't be like, oh, let me go to the bathroom, or like I'd be like, they don't be talking about nothing, but I'd rather see them two
Yeah.
than Robin and Giselle.
Mia's not really guarded with what she says to Robin, whereas we clearly know that Giselle won't say certain things or
Yeah,
whatever. So
very true. You have any other thoughts on anything else about the then no between the
well, I
two?
mean, I know that with the picture, you know what? Karen was probably reading Robin then when that's the reason why that picture was in her phone, because she had sent that picture out to somebody and she probably had read them. Because why else would the picture be there? And why wouldn't you, if you saw this picture of your family, why wouldn't you be like, why you got that picture of me in your phone? Like, why
That's what
wouldn't
I
you
mean.
say?
I'm surprised. You think Robin would that would have been the first thing she would have said was, "Why is this in your phone?"
Because y'all don't even like each other. So yeah, why you got that picture of me in your phone or my family in your phone? Not just of me, but my kids, my mama, everybody. Like, why do you have that picture?
Well, I guarantee you that won't be the last time we hear that. It will come up, if not at the towards the end of the season, it'll come up at the reunion. We will
Oh,
hear
it's
about
at the
and,
union.
Karen will give us some kind of reason as to why I was there. We'll see,
Or
and
is
it's
she gonna
probably gonna
lie
be
and say
funny.
Robin lying or she don't remember why? You know how Karen do.
Yeah, right. She may not. She may conveniently forget. All right, so these next two scenes I'll put together. It was so Wendy and Eddie, they go together. Love seeing them together. They had a confessional together, and basically they just kind of talk about how busy they both been. We saw that they just celebrated their son's 10th birthday. I was like, can y'all let this little boy get up and brush his teeth or something? Was he up there blowing and all on the candles and stuff? He is a child. You know that breath was kicking. Not talking about the kids, but if he literally just waking up, he I'm like,
When they
damn,
woke him up, it was like 4:30 in the morning, so you know that breath was good and stank. Like,
good and sleepy and
yeah,
stanky, but that's okay. They celebrate his
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday. So they were talking about how busy they were and just how Wendy is kind of speaking to him being busy. And what I kind of realized in this, I feel like Wendy is used to being the busy one, at least here lately. And now that he got stuff going on, it seems a little one-sided, but she seems to be somewhat understandable. He does have Happy Eddie now. Shout out to Cookie Monster who coined that from last year, about how happy he was to be in her friend's face or something like that. And then it's a cannabis business. It's now legal in DC, so that's quite a business to be in. They talk about the mom being accepting of it. They thought she was not going to be, but she was just like, okay, well, where the money at? Because that's all she care about. She want to get that skin, another color. That's all it is.
Mama said I need to buy some more product.
Listen, I need to get a little lighter. That's what she said. Let me stop because I don't want her to put no uh, curse on me or nothing like
I'll
that.
put you in that shrine,
Whatever
girl.
necklace, I don't want it. And then they talk more about having more balance, and she talks about going to bed alone and just incorporating more sex in their relationship on a regular basis versus a routine basis. And then we have Karen and Ray scene, and Karen talks about her health. Last year she had the girls all shook like she just had some huge health scare, but she explains that any blockage is serious and that she, has been going to her regular checkups and doctors stuff like that. She's a beautiful woman, looks great, but she is getting older, so it's good to see Black people going to the doctor because we don't, or a lot of us choose not to because we can't or we just scared because for whatever reason. So that was good to see that. But in this moment, this is where she sends her invite, and we see that Giselle declines immediately. Now we'll come back to this part obviously in the next scene. But any thoughts on Wendy, Eddie, and Karen and Ray? Just anything with the married couples?
I just think Wendy and Eddie are such a good looking couple. You can tell how much they really adore
Mhm.
each other. Eddie's just I would hang out with Eddie. Eddie just always seems like he's just
I'm
cool.
sure you would. Yeah, right.
No, he seems like just a cool, laid back dude, just like to have a little fun, So I'm with all that. Karen and Ray, God bless them. They've been together for many, many years. She gonna throw that 27 years out there every chance she get, letting people know it's an institution. So yeah,
Mhm.
Karen and Ray, that's it.
Okay. So now we get to NECA and Giselle. So NECA is with her husband. He can't find something that she feels like
His
he left
work
at
badge.
work. What was it?
His work badge.
His work badge. And she is just so adamant that he needs to just go to the damn back to work, and he left it there. We found out later that he did not. Like y'all, they are interesting little couple. Man, they are very interesting just to see. They when they talk with each other, it's always they talking at each other. It's never just any type of like, "Ooh, I love you." It's just whatever. But we still getting to know them, and more than likely this will be Neca's last season, so we probably will never know them. But hey, we'll see. I don't know. So NECA talks about getting so when Giselle comes over, she has a little skirt on, she got her wedges on. Obviously it's summertime. I said, okay, Giselle, give me hot mama. Like, of course, soon she got out the car, the first thing they showed were her ankles. And I just hate seeing Giselle should stop wearing heels. I don't think she can walk in them, but at least these were wedges. At least it gave some more support for them ankles. And so she talks to her about getting pregnant. She says that after consulting with Mia, who did an IUI, which is where they basically inject the sperm into your uterus or vagina, whatever, and you get pregnant on site. At least that's what Mia said. Mia is a liar. I don't think she really did that. I don't. When it said when Mia said, "Yeah, I got pregnant right away," you would think Mia just got pregnant and it popped right out. I don't believe Mia. Not saying it's not possible, but I don't believe it because she's lied about a lot of things in the past. I still like her though, but I don't
Yeah.
believe that. Um, and the new home, and just she talks about how Karen, she met with Karen. It shows some scenes of her with Karen and talking about being in Potomac. And Karen was, Karen is so particular about being from Potomac, being in Potomac, and she kind of shades her at being in North Potomac versus being somewhere else. And they show Karen's house. They says Karen's rental property, more shade that she's renting and that not buying, like what you said earlier. But then they go out and they sit down, and there's a knock on the door, on the doorbell, and it's Sharice. Sharice apparently is close by, a neighbor, and just popped up. They didn't know that, she said she didn't know she was coming over. I'm like, okay, sure, maybe. It just Sharice gives me she just would pop up. Because who would really invite Sharice to their house? I mean, come on. So Sharice was invited, and then they immediately start talking more on Karen, and Sharice can't wait to get a piece, and she's just like she throws shade at her again, renting and stuff like that, blah blah blah. So then at this moment, Karen's invite comes, and apparently this is the second invite, and so Giselle explains what happened. She talks about the jar situation, and she already was iffy then, but she says they show an initial text message saying that it was her, Candace, was it her, Candace, Ashley, and Wendy. And so she leads by saying that she has to protect her safety, because why would she want to be on a sprinter van with these women? And she says that Karen knows that, and why would she put her in this situation? Um, so apparently, this invitation that comes in this moment is a new invitation that's inviting everybody. After initially only inviting a few people, and it ends with the liability insurance went up, y'all. So we're good. And I was just like, okay. And so in this moment, Candace and Winnie are both like, well, girl, we was coming anyway. Like, it don't matter if it was the first, second, we was gonna be there, right? Robin says she can't make it. It's last minute. She got to spend time with the kids. And Karen's response is, cool, Robin, like, girl, whatever. And we see a message from Mia, which says, I can't get past the original invite. And the message from Karen says, you need to.
Yes.
was just like, put me in this group chat. I want to be in this group chat. It sounds messy.
I had cackled a little bit when I saw that. I said, "Not you need to,
You
God."
need to took me out. Like, yeah, you need to. Um, and so I will stop there and get your thoughts on I guess more so the invite, Giselle declining the invite because she does not want to be around near Candace and Wendy. And the shade thrown at Karen, and also just the original invite versus the current invite. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I'll go ahead and start there. With the original invite, it seemed like to me, Karen is in her mind, just my opinion and what I think, in her mind thinking about, how can I save all these girls' jobs? Because if they can't go another season like this and people not talking to people and filming with people, because they are going to start to cut people. So it seems like Karen is trying to put on her, not necessarily a producer hat, but put on her hat of being the grand dame and saying, how can I bridge this gap to at least get, Candace and Wendy, and Giselle kind of like on the same page where they can all, kind of move forward, have some type of dialogue and move forward. She invited Ashley to support Giselle, and then she invited Wendy and Candace to support each other. So that's why I initially think that she only invited them. Once Giselle declined, it was kind of like, well, okay, well, Giselle declined. So that's that plan of trying to get them together. Maybe I should just go ahead and invite everybody. But I get it that it was, that it was last minute. With Karen saying, hey, okay, this is Northern Potomac. I didn't necessarily take that as shade. And the reason is because it's kind of like, somebody saying, you go into somebody's house here and you're like, oh, well, this is Midtown or whatever, or this is West Midtown, or that's Buckhead, or whatever the case may be. It's like, it's not shade, it's just like a fact. This is Northern Potomac. She didn't say the girl didn't live in Potomac or didn't have the 20854 area code. She just, kind of stated the fact, like, oh, okay, this is Northern, Potomac or whatever. NECA's house is it's gonna shape up to be a nice house. I like the black floors. I think she had black floors in one of the rooms or something.
Very white and black.
Okay. So yeah, so
I mean the whole like the theme of the house is very white and
yeah,
black.
I kind of like where she was going with that. I was wondering though why the bed. I mean, I guess she got to order sheets, but why you ain't got sheets on these beds? It's just mattresses in every room. Like, where the
Well,
sheets?
one of them didn't even have we just had a bed frame, right? Did
Yeah,
I miss?
yeah.
I mean,
Huh.
she just moved in. I
But
know
they've
she.
been building that house. She done had time to order stuff, and clearly she don't have a interior decorator to like that's gonna do all of that. So that means she got to do it herself. Run on over to Home Goods and get you a pair of get some 2000 thread count sheets or something. I mean,
She really quickly. She mentioned that they moved. They living together, and that's a challenge. Well, they live with, so they've been distanced all this time, is what she said, right? So this is
that's
their
what
first
I gathered
time.
from it. But even now, he goes away to LA for like
Oh,
the week to work, and then he comes back like on the weekend or some stuff like that. Like, so they kind of still have a long distance relationship going on.
hmm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a fan of people, getting on camera with unfinished things like that. I know they be rushing in time, and but I don't like even the event that she talks about later on. We skip it around about her having an unpacking party. I just kind of like,
Unpack that before I get over there.
right. I don't. I mean, that's first of all, when I move, I like to unpack myself because why are you touching my things? You can help me move. Now, if she had a moving party, sure, but an unpacking party and lingerie and stuff it's not really fabulous. But hey, whatever.
And then,
Whatever.
and then
Whatever.
Sharice walks
It
in.
ain't housewife fabulous. That may be cute for like whatever. I ain't gonna say it. Yeah, I ain't gonna
Then
say it.
walks in looking stuffy. And I also, in that moment when they were kind of going through the text as they were sitting out there, of course, she wasn't going to invite Sharice. We still don't even know why you are here, but thank you for bringing the flowers and the champagne over. And you just so happen to get mic'd and everything outside, after dropping by. Yeah, okay. I was also thinking like when NECA was mentioning about not being on the first invite. It seemed like Giselle to me always seems like she is trying to sway, some of the
Yeah.
other girls
Yeah.
from being around certain members of that, of that group
Yeah.
as well. And I don't like that. Let them people, y'all all, however old NECA is, 35 or 40 or whatever it is. Giselle, we know you well into your 50s. Like, don't be doing all that. If you're not gonna really play, then you stay over there and you don't discuss the other women. And you talk about whatever it is that you need to talk about with them people. But if you're not willing to talk to them people and discuss them while they're in your presence, then don't talk about them at all.
My takeaway from this scene was that I don't like what Giselle did, not for the purpose of TV. I don't like when somebody, if I invite a friend to something and they don't want to show because somebody's there. I don't if you I just feel like, especially in this kind of event where you were supporting Karen,
Yeah.
they are in a better place. They have been doing well. And I feel like this could set them back because it just shows like, okay, you can't even come and support me. You so worried about somebody else, and I get it. You don't want to be on a sprint van with somebody, blah blah. But at the same time, y'all been on several trips now, several group events, and you've chosen not to speak to these two women. So
Yeah.
what's any different than being on a bus, than sitting at a pool and sitting at a chicken shit party, or doing all these
No,
things?
that's
Like,
true.
it's just kind of getting to the point to where Potomac now is getting so like childish, like, oh, I don't want to film with, I don't want to sit with her. It's so apparent that they don't like each other, they don't want to film with each other. And like in this moment, I'm like, yes, one, she's trying to sway the rest of the girls. That's very clear because she moves like that. But if I was Karen, I hope that she looks at her like, you know what, Giselle, like, we cool, but we'll never be that cool. Because to me, this was something that was big for Karen.
Yeah.
And my thing is, Giselle was on the initial invite list, which means that she really wanted her there. So if she did change it later for whatever reason, that's her own
Yeah.
doing. But her just obviously saying no because so and so is not there personally in life. I don't like things like that,
Yeah.
and I
That's
don't like
good.
that. If I have something and someone is there that will make you feel uncomfortable, I'll make sure that it's never going to be an issue. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because realistically, we live in a world where everybody's not good along. That's reality. But not going because somebody's not there or whatever, that's kind of childish to me. And Giselle is not a child. She
No,
has
I,
three.
I agree.
She's three. But yes, I do agree. Production needs to step in. They need to make these women
But
do.
the thing about it is not, because I feel like Wendy and Candace would for sure have a sit down or talk to with Giselle, and even Robin. Clearly we've seen that, but Giselle, I think that they would do that, but Giselle is so against it, which is why I feel like Giselle needs to go. Like, she needs to go, and I know that will never happen because for whatever reason, I'm not for sure why, she's the golden child of Potomac, but she legit needs to go.
Not anymore. That's fading. I'm sorry. They're in season
So
8. That's fading. Like at one point, like I said, if when production decided that Nene could go, and obviously yes, she was fighting with the production sometimes, stuff like that. Maybe Giselle's not doing that. My girl, she was spiraling a little bit. I'm tired of using that word because a lot of people spiraling these days. I ain't gonna talk about that either. But I just feel like she can go if
oh
she's just
yeah, she could go, and I don't think honestly,
if she's pulling the show back, preventing the show from progressing,
yeah,
and is a primary reason, she should, because that's not where we're watching to see somebody say, I don't want to film with this person, and when it's so apparent, it's annoying.
yeah, and I don't think she would. For even example, like a Nene, we miss everybody miss Nene. I don't care if they like her or not, they do. Giselle, I don't think that she would be missed. Like, she to me hasn't been a pivotal part of what's been going on within that circle for a few years now. She hasn't really contributed to me anything this season other than us knowing Grace is about to go off to school and she has this convenient relationship with this younger guy
Yeah.
in the
And
telephone.
and, and to Sean's point, first of all, it's coming from Paula Girl, says, frankly, Giselle miscalculated her pettiness because this trip did well, even with NECA stretching her neck. I agree. It actually was a good moment for them. And then to Sean S's point, Karen still shows up whenever Sharice is invited.
Yeah.
And we know that she doesn't like her. I mean, despises her. So it's just like, yeah. And also to Megan's comment, sorry, you would think Candace and Wendy started with her. It was just the way that she said, I gotta protect my I gotta be safe. I was like, safe? What's gonna happen to you? You scared because when what's gonna happen? They're gonna jump you? Like, I mean, as if you don't deserve it if they decided to, but stop it. Like, stop it, Giselle.
I love the fact that Megan Thee Stallion is coming off of a successful weekend and she decided to watch.
Okay, hey Megan Thee Stallion is here. Hey girl. No, we love Megan. Has been a long time doing
Yeah.
stuff. If you really are Megan Thee Stallion, girl, listen, you ain't told me. I'm fanning out. I don't know. um Ronnie says, "Oh gosh, so nobody likes Giselle." It's not that. It's just you have to. Ronnie loves Giselle, but
Here's the thing, and Ronnie, I know that she on your pretty list or whatever it is that you call that.
I'm so tired of that list.
But
Anyway,
this thing is like just because people don't always agree with how a person is interacting does not mean that that person is disliked. It's just speaking on what it is that we see.
yeah.
As of right now, I feel like Giselle should go. If she's not willing to be there, she's not willing to play, then she should go. Like even when Nene got fired, Nene was at the point where she wasn't really wanting to participate no more. So she needed a whole sit
I'm
down
gonna say
for
this:
a
the
little while.
Atlanta girls. I can't think of moments like that where they literally opted out of filming because
After
somebody was
I
there.
haven't. That's
I
true.
don't, and maybe it did happen. I'm sure, but it was never like this. And they have had some real issues. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw, we've seen some of the housewives be like, "I'm not giving the friend of the time of day," and
Yeah.
that's okay. I
That's
don't mind you pulling that seniority thing, but like a housewife saying that I don't want to go to this and do this, like it happens every once in a while. But like when it's like this, it's like, it's not, girl. You're not gonna talk to him anyway. So what does it matter?
yeah. Yeah, like for sure. And Giselle, let's be honest, Ronnie, since you got so much to say, Giselle ain't even like that girl like that. Like, give me a iconic read that Giselle doesn't deliver. Give me some iconic shade that Giselle has delivered. Give me an iconic look, a wig, fingernail polish, shoes, anything. She ain't like she's good at producing scenes sometimes, but even that kind of got old real quick. And now it's like, okay, well, what is it that Giselle is bringing to the show? And this season, she's not bringing anything to me. This season, to me, she looks like a newbie, minus the fact that she doesn't want to film with people because newbies typically will film with anybody. But that's kind of where I'm at with her.
Well,
Rob,
Ronnie said he interviewed Giselle for clarification. We know you interviewed Giselle. Guess Ronnie. We know after buzz. All right, so to get to this next scene, they're traveling. They're on a Sprinter van that Giselle did not want to be on because of Wendy and Candace. And NECA arrives, and Wendy is just like, this bitch. And I was like, Wendy girl, I love you, girl. Just, we know you don't like her, and vice versa. Just whatever. And so they get on the bus, and Karen talks about Giselle declining the invite, and she's like, but Mia was just like doing a lot in the text, more than what we saw, and just was like, she does not do last minute invites. And I feel Mia on that. There's nothing wrong with that. Who wants to be an afterthought? So I actually side with Mia on that. I mean, Karen has to look at it from that perspective. You did not invite them initially. Yes, you talked about this fishbowl and you opened it and you said you got the, clearance to have, for a higher liability insurance or whatever. But at the same time, no one likes a second-hand invite. So I side with Mia on this. I do. But NECA says that it looked like she sent the invite to everybody because Giselle initially declined. Yeah. I don't think that's true because I don't think whereas Giselle and Karen are in a great place, I don't think that Giselle just had to have Karen had to have Giselle there. I don't think that was the reason. I think, I think it's consistent to what you said that that she's been on this whole, because she's been the one trying to get everybody back on the same page. Yeah. And so that's why I also believe that the initial invite was not malicious. I think she really did have some things with, because look at what they did, so being in that house and stuff like that. Because I mean, she had her family there too, so maybe there was something. I never built the house. I never worked on a construction property. I mean, I play with Legos and Barbie doll houses, so I don't know nothing about liability insurances other than what I got over here. So I don't know. So I think it was some truth to that, but I don't think that was true as to what NECA said. But Karen says she received it and she understands how it could seem that way, but that was not the case. So then Wendy talks about the Happy Eddie event coming up, and NECA talks about her having an unpacking party event. And I was like, that is, like I said, that is so not fabulous. That is so not a housewife fabulous event. But if you saw her house, she desperately needs the help.
And the gifts.
And she needs the decor. She needs to have a warm housewarming party where you warm the house up and then you get ready for the housewarming, because it is dry and cold in there. The time they were on the back drinking the champagne, they should have been in the house undoing some of them boxes. Then that was the best time to do that. But she's gonna have that, and she says that everybody's invited. Ashley Miss herself turns to Wendy, was like, Wendy, she says you're invited. And so Wendy doesn't say much. She just says, yeah, we skipped 20 million steps. And so it stops there. Ashley talks about all the changes in her life. He talks about G&A, which is the athleisure line, again, that her and Giselle are doing together. And Wendy is just tickled. Wendy is falling out. She's like, Giselle and you doing anything with clothes? Oh my God. And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm sure we all were thinking it, but what saves them is that it's an athleisure line. Yes. It's not something that, because they both dress like they are dressing at their own leisure and whatever the hell they want to put on anyway. So it makes sense. But after that, after being tickled, they stop because Ashley has a small bladder to go with those little small body dresses she wears. And they go and get some margaritas. Wendy and Candace get a little tipsy after margaritas. I'm like, where is this gas station? Because I've never seen alcohol in the gas station.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't, and I would love to. If I'm on a road trip, let me find that gas station.
You gotta go to Secret County.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna make sure that their liability insurance is high enough for me to be there. But any thoughts on anything in the bus regarding Mia and the secondhand invite? NECA's assumption that she changed it because Giselle wasn't coming, and anything G&A, and also with Wendy towards NECA's invite.
I do think that she changed it, or possibly that she changed it because Giselle wasn't coming, but not because she was trying to be malicious with the initial invite. But it was kind of like, okay, my plan was to try to get them together to have them talk. But now, since that's not going to happen, I may as well just kind of open it up to everybody. But I think she picked those specific girls for a specific reason. I can see, the why she wouldn't invite NECA and her husband to the Happy Eddie event, but I can also see why she wouldn't accept an invite, in this case from NECA in regards to coming to her house in an unpacking party. So I agree that steps, and I know we'll probably get more into it, but I think steps were skipped or whatever. That whole Ashley and Giselle, I think they could be okay with like little tank tops and tights and stuff like that. But what kind of, to me, takes it like down, like even cheaper, is seeing G&A, like the monogram. It's
tacky.
They shouldn't do that. But yeah.
Well, they're doing it, so they're doing it because there's another event coming up in this season where it's like a lunch party. Actually, I believe that the G&A party, I believe the G&A lunch party is the event that the fight happened. It happened. Yes, it happened after that. The fight with Kiana and Cookie Monster Girl. That was the lunch party, I think, for that. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was. So yeah. So they're having that. It's coming out. I'm sure they're gonna probably at the reunion. Maybe she'll give it out. Unlike Sheree, she'll actually let them keep it. I don't know. They'll let them keep it. Not really sure, but we'll see about G&A. But any other thoughts on anything in the scene? Okay. So then we get to the last scene. They get to Surrey County. They go in. They meet the family. Everyone is there. And like I said, I don't know much about liability insurance in terms of with this, but she did have several family members there, so maybe that was why it was
Yeah.
for them. But she said she upped it, so hey, um, and they meet the family. Karen talks about her family lineage, how she is a slave's great great grandbaby or something like that. And I was like, okay,
Mhm.
Karen, you better be a slave's great great grandbaby girl. I know that's right. That's why she the grand dame, because I mean,
She
hey,
rose up like the phoenix. Yes.
exactly, exactly. They get all dressed up, and first of all, they look like, who gave them overalls and stuff to put on? I mean, I
Karen,
don't get,
sure.
I didn't get that. I mean, yeah,
I mean, it was about to be out in the yard, like
why
doing.
couldn't they just put their own attire on? Why did they have to be in? I mean, just give them straw hats at this
Why
point
they
and
have
say,
to get slave clothes?
right. Why they give them slave clothes? Did you own when they got that too? I'm like, they look like little slaves. Like, why are they wearing this? I don't know who's and child. It's just whatever. They're never gonna beat these colorism accusations ever.
Man,
It
God.
was just interesting to see. I was like, okay, this
But
is
they
what
might
they
as well have did it in their regular clothes because Karen had on like Chanel sneakers. I want to say Candace had on like Gucci rain boots or something like that. That's what they looked like. It was like, what?
they look like Handmaid's Tales. I mean, they might as well say, may the Lord be open when they might as well did it all. I'm like,
The
why
little
are they
bonnet.
wearing this?
Golly.
So they go out, they think they see a snake and stuff like that. It's not a snake. But then they sit down and they have like lunch or something like that. And Karen, starts out by thanking them all for coming. Ashley talks about how her and Candace they've grown, and they had a little wishbone moment where they broke the tree earlier in this scene, and that if they can get past, have their little moments, she sees that there's hope for her, for NECA and Wendy. And I'm just like, okay, because Ashley, you and Candace go back and forth. Like y'all have been arguing since season four,
Yeah.
since season four. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's a great comparison. I think y'all have learned to tolerate each other, and then y'all gonna know when to argue too. So it's like whatever, right?
And there's also a history there between Candace and Ashley
Correct.
now as well.
They
It's like,
started out as friends.
yeah.
They did. They actually were friends. They were the pageant girls when they
Yeah.
first
Because
came out.
then Ashley introduced Candace to the group, right?
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She did. And so when she speaks on that, Wendy just says, yeah, well, I'm all for sisterhood. I'm all for, moms, and I'm all for, sisters and things like that. Unlike something that NECA came for in my family. She talked about my mom. She talked about, her being a witch. Her husband tried to fight my husband. She made this everything she tried to do. She called me a bitch, all these things. And so, NECA doesn't deny calling her a bitch. She says that, I mean, what do you expect when you cuss at me? I'm gonna use a cuss word as well. And she's just like, I didn't cuss at you. Basically, Wendy feels like she should have been called a bitch. I'm like, okay. But NECA doesn't deny them. And so they kind of go on a small little tangent, but ultimately NECA is just like, what did you say? Clearly, my existence is the reason why you're upset. And so Wendy finishes off by saying that, an invite to your house does not absolve everything that's happened between you and I. There's been many steps have been skipped. And as she says, steps have been skipped. Steps have been skipped. Featuring Wendy and Happy Eddie on Mike Will made it. It's coming out soon. I bet you it is.
Oh,
But
London on the track.
right, okay. Or Lil Juke made it, and if the beat like little juke man. But yeah, so that's where the scene ends. That's where the episode ends. Where Wendy is basically like, listen, that is not. In other words, there should be more that should happen before I just come to your house. And I tried to sit and try to. At first, I was like, well, Wendy's doing the same thing that Giselle is doing, but then I realized one, she's not because she's there, and two, I guess it's different when you invite someone to your home. um, I don't know. Maybe Wendy would have declined it if it was at some factory or something like that too. Just say it was some other event. But I think when you invite somebody to someone's home and like when you're doing something to specifically help them out, I think it's a bit different. You tell me what you think. You think that what her to NECA is the same as Giselle with Wendy and Candace, or is it different? But what are your thoughts on the scene between Wendy and NECA? Because where it just sounds like Wendy is saying there is no possibilities. I don't want to be friends with her. I don't want to deal with her. Like, I'm done. Basically, off of everything that happened in the past. What are your thoughts?
And even with this scene, I like, how it was kind of ushered in. It wasn't on any rah-rah type of stuff or anybody trying to be messy. It was really, kind of telling them, hey, maybe y'all can get to a better place. I like that Karen was like, don't just be a stern no, like still kind of remain open to, the fact. I think what's messing them up is that I guess NECA is so new to the group. NECA is so new to the group, and her and Wendy don't have that type of rapport or history or anything like that. So it makes it that much harder. And no, I don't think it's the same because, like, I wouldn't expect Giselle to go to anything at Candace's house right now or anything at Wendy's house, and vice versa. I wouldn't expect that. But when it's out in a neutral place like that for the group, absolutely. I also don't feel like I agree with Wendy. Before I can come to your house and, see your home and it's whatever pre-housewarming pajama party, unpacking thing, whatever it is. Yeah, me and you need to have a sit down and a conversation at least. And I felt like that could be the least NECA could have did, being that it seems like to me, from what they've shown, NECA had, I guess, more so the issue with Wendy before Wendy had an issue, with NECA. So I do feel like it should have been a conversation like, hey, let's sit down and have a talk and try to talk things out before it's just like, oh yeah, I'm having this at my house and everybody's invited. No, I'm not coming to your house. I don't even like you right now. And I don't like your husband either. So why would I be in your house? So I understand why that invitation was in that moment declined.
Yeah. I agree. Like I said, at first because I read the comments online. I was like, this seems a little the same, but it's really not. I think very, very valid of her saying steps have been skipped. And
Yeah.
so whether or not they decide to be friends or not, that's one thing, but there needs to be a conversation. And it doesn't really help if the thing that I'm saying that bothered me, you're doubling down in my face still. You're still saying it's true to my mom being a witch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so you can send as many invites as you want and think that, try to, because to me, that's kind of manipulative, in a way. You're trying to, we got somebody who clearly you feel failed at an invite. So now you're going to say, well, I'm inviting everybody, including, I'm basically trying to show how inclusive she is versus saying something. It's shade towards Karen too. But, Karen, she ain't thinking about NECA like that. Like, I don't think NECA wanted with Karen. And I don't think we'll ever really see that unless she ever tried it. Because one, we know NECA won't be back probably, more than likely. But yeah, I agree. It's different. And for anybody saying it's the same, let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe you think different. I respect your opinion. Maybe not. No.
I won't respect it because I don't agree with it.
And we have more events coming up. So my thing is, they're gonna be. What's one event? What's one unpacking event?
No, and it's right. Like it's gonna be some type of fabulous situation like what Candace had or something like that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even. She had a dining room table with no chairs. Like, what? Yeah, it ain't be that fabulous. Nice house though.
I would have rather her first event been something else than unpacking. But that's just.
I would have loved for it to be anything other than an unpacking pajama party.
In lingerie. You mean tell me I gotta pick up some old nasty smelling boxes in my cute lingerie?
Exactly.
Oh no.
And then, they did lingerie. Was it last season or season before? Like, let's do something else. Like, come up with something else, NECA. Like, you got
doesn't have the range, and I really at some point I like to give the newbies a chance, but good grief, she is a drag, and I just cannot. I cannot with NECA, at all. And yeah, that's it. I put the link in the chat for those that want to call in. This is the time where we have our callers to call in and give their thoughts and opinions. Honestly, this episode was a bore. This season is coming to be a bore in so many ways, just because the ladies are not having conversations. There's no resolution. Nobody's nothing's happening, but I think that production is aware of that, and hopefully they turn things up in the next couple of episodes. As I said earlier, the reunion for this is filming the week of February the 20th. I know that for a fact. Y'all know I don't be lying when I tell y'all stuff. So believe me or don't believe me, that's fine. But I do have the tea. So they're gonna be filming then. I'm hearing what the theme may be, the color, and it's actually not a color, it's a shade. So I'll wait a little closer to give y'all the actual shade, but it's not a color. It's what I'm allegedly hearing that it is. So
Okay.
with that being said, we'll go ahead and let our caller on for today. Not off with neck ahead. You know, that confessional when she looked like Dracula is a fool. I really wish that I hope she got another confessional coming because that one is not it at all. And it's just not it. Yes, Paula, we're unpacking. I assume they're gonna be unpacking boxes, right? Not unpacking their feelings. Or is it gonna be
Yeah, no, I think I thought it was a like a unpacking, like unpacking that's the way she kind of explained it was like they just moved, so they trying to get stuff out the boxes. But why you want these people touching your stuff?
Well, it
What
wasn't much
like
in there.
clothes in the
You
boxes?
didn't have much. Come
I
on.
ain't see no boxes in there, so maybe they
He
still
had a
wait.
full size bed, and one didn't even have no mattress on it. It was just sitting there with the box frame. So at least she had a headboard because you know I can't stand on bed without a headboard.
I ain't
Um,
headboard on my bed.
yeah, yeah. He said a housewarming. No, it's not a housewarming. The house ain't even warm. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get our call on. But I agree, Courtney. Wait on the action to happen. It has not happened. This may be Potomac's flop era. I mean, it may just be. They've given us a great 7-season run. Not saying they're going nowhere, but this may be their flop era. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
and that's
All
what
right.
um
Hopefully, please. We got about 6 more episodes to go, maybe 6, 7, and then probably a 10-part reunion. You know how they're gonna give us about nothing. Hopefully, it's just with this limited drama we've gotten, we just need a part and a half, and
but
that's
really, but it'll probably be two. What
you
else?
said what?
Come up? I said it'll probably be two parts, hopefully.
I don't
But
know
if
how to
they
do
talking
that.
about a three,
You said what?
I said if they talking about 3-parter for the reunion, baby.
One part gonna be Shrine, next part gonna be Giselle, and next part gonna be Surrey County. I'm bored. All
Yeah.
right, what's going on, Lisa? What you got for us today? How you doing?
Hey, darling, how you doing, baby?
How are you?
Chad, I'm gonna tell you about this show. They used to be my favorite show, my one of my favorite housewives. I love them, but they are giving me boredom out of this world. I mean, come on, baby, what is it all about? And I really do blame it on Giselle because all her lying. That is a lying heifer. You know what I'm saying? She keep on going after people, family, and people just got used to her lying and they tired of it and it making viewership go away, it making the stuff go away and everything. This making everything. And then you keep on acting like Wendy, like the person has said, you're like Wendy and Candy did something to you because Candice used to say all of she used to like Giselle. And I think what happened was when Candace sit there with Candace said, "We got you up in." She read her for fifth on that reunion. Y'all don't care what nobody say. There was a line out this word what Candace said to her. And I think even Andy mouth what Candace said, Andy mouth was like, really? We going there? And so I can understand that. So, but I'm not understanding. You go after people, family, you keep on thinking it's cool. She went out the Wobbin family last year. Remember she told everybody that Wobbin, that one name wasn't on their house. That wasn't none of your business to tell. And I'm gonna tell you about that house. That ain't none of Nick and them house because this still got the lockbox on. That's a house they went to do their thing, baby. Okay, go back. And you go back and look when what's that girl Giselle come in, the lockbox is still there, okay?
Lisa,
Ain't nobody
So you think
you huh?
you think Nick and them renting?
Yeah, they went in the house because she keeps saying that they had gonna build their house. Ain't nobody built no house that fast and did putting all that stuff together like it is. That is they went in the house that she did a scene in, and I don't know why y'all keep talking about Karen house. Cause Kevin rent her house. If she is rent or buying, I don't know what she's doing. The Grand Dame is still doing good because the perfume is still doing good. Okay, is at Macy's and it's selling. Okay,
It
and
is.
right
You're right.
along
It
with
is.
the camera. So
It is.
they doing good. And I'm like, when together, when I find my fell out the truck. Wendy said, "Baby, if this April Fools, and this ain't gonna be nothing about she by she way mess, overclothes, overpriced. It ain't gonna be about nothing. That's why I ain't never support Shuey by Shuey. Cause baby, I ain't got time for no mess. It took you 14 years to get the clothing out. And child, there gonna be some mess right here too. The makeup didn't go good. And whatever didn't go good, they ain't gonna go good for me 99 too. And I'm so much with Wendy. Wendy, like, girl, you have talked about my family. You came from your husband kind of jumped on my husband about a Facebook page. Are you for real? Eddie like, I don't want no problem with you, man. I ain't got problem with you. I ain't got problem with you. And you and your husband come make this big scene. I don't believe it was your husband. I believe it was you. Can make a big old scene about it, and that's really it. They did look good. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Now on the way, they do sell lime margaritas at Love's on doing the highway in
Oh,
small stores. So they probably stopped at a small store. And they probably bought them some lime margaritas to
probably so.
get drunk to
Well,
be in
they
that
look like
thing.
they had like hubs for us. I mean, maybe so. Maybe they had like some little spin-offs or something. I don't know what they had. I mean,
They probably pulled over, got some more gas, and when they got some more gas and to put in the spinner, baby, they stopped. They got the little margaritas because you know they got different kind of coolers on the highway now.
Mhm.
Believe me, I know because I drive on behind the way. I take the
Well, you
bus
don't
all
be
the time
drinking
on
and
the
driving, do
highway.
you, now, Lisa? You
No,
don't be
baby, because Greyhound and Megabus do not let you drink on their buses. Unless you got to sneak a little bottle, you got to sneak a little bottle inside your carry on. Other than that, but I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying, it just, and somebody said something about one. I keep saying this, and I keep saying, I don't know why people get this relationship so confused. Juan and Robin is in love with Juan, and I keep telling people this. She been in love with this guy since high school,
drink.
and it's hard when you been in love that long. You mom, I know y'all were mom at Monique house. She was eating her food, asked for eating her food, and she said, you got a problem with me? And I said, yeah, he been seeing somebody else. He been seeing somebody else. That's what she did.
I
That's
know
what
for a
we
fact.
look at the scene. Look at the scene,
I
baby.
know
Look
for a
at the
fact.
scene. That's what it said. And I can understand. She been in love with this man for like 20 or 30 some years. They got
Mhm.
two beautiful sons. And and I promise you, I believe if they really just break up like that, I think Robin will have a meltdown. I think she would shut all the way down. She would be really in depressed mood because she's really in love with Juan Dixon. She don't care. She want no women. She don't care. She's in love with that man. In
Mm.
high school, when you have love, like you be in love like that, and people tell you about your man cheating, it's hard to walk away.
Mm.
And I truly understand that. So that's why I always give her like a little leeway when it comes to one, because I can feel that. Because like I said, she been in love with him since she was in high school. And that's hard to walk away. People that don't know that's hard to walk away. But other than that, I did like them in their little overall suits. I did. I thought it was so cute. I did. I like it. I like that overall suit. They all looked cute in their little overall suits. I don't know about nobody else. No, that's how I felt about it like that. Other than that, Mia, go
Okay.
sit down for her. Baby, I love you. Hey, boo.
Thank you, Lisa. We love you
DM
too.
me. DM me. DM me.
Okay.
DM me.
I
Yeah, because
will.
they need to know, okay? I
I love
love you.
you.
Love you, Antonio. Miss you, baby.
I love you too, Lisa.
All right, Lisa. Thank you.
Y'all
Okay.
have a good night.
You have a
Bye
good
bye.
night. Let me see. There was somebody else here. They must have left. That's fine. We can get on out of here early today. Okay, y'all. Well, listen, that was Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for always calling in and supporting us, of course. I'm going to DM you. And if I don't DM you, then I'm going to make sure I check my DM, all the things. But but I think Lisa may have just told us to do our investigation on their lockbox, Antonio. And Jamai said that there definitely was a lockbox. So that's crazy. That I mean, that's it. I didn't look at that, but child, maybe because she's not there, they're gonna use it for like an Airbnb. I don't know. I mean, he don't
But
really
she
be there, so
lives there. He doesn't live there full
I
time.
know. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about that guy. I really don't. So with that being said, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and lean out. This episode was, it was, I would give it a 5, just because I mean it was interesting to kind of just see this whole invite thing. I'm curious to see what kind of drama comes from it, and I'm curious to see how this, because I know that once the ladies get together, just this is not the end of a couple of things that we're seeing. I think this episode kind of plotted the rest of the season, or plotted like a little seed for the rest of the season. We see that next week Mia and Karen get into it. Next week is something about some husband rumors.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh Lord, it looked like Karen is activated again. Her and Mia, I think this may be the episode where she was like, "You are the trick," because I think that's where they got into it. Well, I don't know when, but this may be the episode, so we'll see. All right, y'all. Well, with that being said, thank y'all for watching. For those watching, Jamai, Apple Charm, Dr. C, Ronnie's always in here supporting the pretty girls, as he call them. The pretty girls. I think he says Giselle, Larsa, and Kenya.
Melissa Gorga. Now, Giselle.
And Melissa Gorga. He always loses me at Larsa. I get lost at Larsa. The others I could see, but Larsa.
You can see Melissa. I remember what she looked like. She legit did look like a raccoon, and her nose was huge.
I don't think Melissa. I think Melissa is she can be a pretty girl.
I think the work has done well, has settled well. So I think she looks better.
Yeah.
But yeah. She wasn't always pretty to me.
Oh, well, Ronnie, I think somebody says otherwise. No, I'm just saying. But again, thank y'all for watching. Again, Courtney, Dr. Sihu, Polypa Girl, Keelan was up in here. My girl Faded was up in here. Lisa, Sarah Content, right? Whitney, Bobby, Teresa, Autumn names. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all check out Married to Medicine tomorrow. It's gonna be live. They are on at 8:30 Eastern now. Right, because Salt Lake City ended. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Or was it out? Yeah. Salt Lake City's done. So now Married to Medicine is now on at 8:30 Eastern, not 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure y'all keep up with that time. Beverly Hills is on Wednesday still. And then this week, since we did not do an episode for Married to Medicine, it is a double feature for last week's episode. I'm sorry, not Married to Medicine. Real Housewives of Miami. It's going to be 2 episodes covered. My bad. I said it wrong. So yeah. Today, Potomac. Tomorrow, Married to Medicine. Wednesday, Beverly Hills. And Thursdays is going to be Real Housewives of Miami. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you, Antonio. And we'll see you guys next time, okay? Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.